Welcome. We're doing a deep dive today, looking at something you've clearly been exploring through the sources you sent, this link between writing and maybe finding a more fulfilling life.
Yeah, it's a fascinating connection.
So our mission really is to pull out the key insights from all this material, articles, expert views, even some research, and figure out if putting words down, pen to paper or fingers to keyboard,
hmm
can actually make you feel more complete. It's a big question.
It really is.
Have you ever wondered that yourself? If writing could unlock something deeper. Okay, let's unpack this.
Sounds good. And interestingly, one of the first things that jumps out from the sources is this idea of writing for, well, self-discovery.
Right, getting to know yourself better.
Exactly. One source mentions it just creates the space, to clarify thoughts and feelings that are often just swirling around, kind of nebulous.
Like pinning them down?
Sort of, yeah, giving those abstract ideas a more tangible form so you can actually look at them, get some clarity.
Okay, that makes sense. And I noticed a few sources really zoned in on journaling for that.
Yes, definitely. Journaling comes up quite a bit as a really practical tool for this inner exploration, like mapping out your internal world.
Mapping it out. I like that. And one source pointed out that writing helps you get insights into your character, your values, maybe what you're aiming for.
Precisely. It's presented as this way to understand what makes you tick your values, beliefs, aspirations, almost like an ongoing conversation with yourself.
An internal dialogue.
Yeah, exactly that. Building a relationship with yourself through the act of writing, which, if you're keen on getting knowledge quickly and having those aha moments, well, writing seems like a very direct route to engaging with your own thinking.
Yeah, it's like bypassing everything else and going straight to the source, which is you. Okay, so that's understanding ourselves. But what about, the harder stuff, the difficult emotions?
Right, that's another major theme. Writing as a way to process experience.
Unprocess them how exactly?
Well, the idea is that writing about experiences helps you sort of work through them, gain perspective, and eventually integrate them into your life story, make sense of them.
So it's not just venting then?
Not just venting, though that cathartic element is definitely there. Several sources mention the boost to emotional well-being,
Gut release, yeah.
but it's more about understanding and meaning making too. There's even talk about expressive writing for dealing with really tough emotions, even trauma.
Trauma, wow.
Yeah, and they acknowledge it might feel, uncomfortable at first, confronting difficult things on paper,
I can imagine.
but the potential long-term benefits, things like improved mood, better well-being, that seems pretty significant.
That is compelling.
Yeah.
So even with something really sensitive like trauma, the sources suggest writing can actually lead to positive change.
That seems to be the thread, yes.
Yeah.
Engaging actively with difficult emotions through writing, even if it's tough initially, might be a key step towards healing, towards that greater fulfillment we're talking about.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit. What about the creative side? Imagination.
Ah, yes. Creative writing, fiction, poetry, that sort of thing.
Right. How does that fit in?
Well, it's seen as a way to tap into your imagination, obviously, to build worlds, explore possibilities, and apparently there's a real satisfaction in just doing that, a kind of affirmation.
Creating something out of nothing, basically.
Exactly. And another angle is that this creative experimentation lets you explore different parts of yourself, different identities almost.
Like trying on different hats.
Kind of, yeah, in a safe space without real-world stakes. So if you're interested in different perspectives, different writing forms offer all these varied ways to explore.
So it opens things up beyond just the everyday. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Okay, and then there's a more maybe tangible side, like actually finishing something you've written.
Oh, yeah, the sense of accomplishment that
Yeah.
comes up too. Finishing a project, big or small, gives you that concrete feeling of, I did this, mastery.
Builds confidence, I bet.
Absolutely. And setting writing goals, seeing yourself make progress that reinforces your ability to stick with things. Perseverance, it's a positive feedback loop.
Right, that feeling of completion. I made this exist. That must be pretty empowering.
Hmm.
But writing isn't always these big creative projects, is it? Sometimes it's more practical. Problem solving.
You got it. Writing can be a really effective tool for thinking through problems.
How so?
Just the act of putting it down forces you to structure your thoughts,
Yeah.
organize complex information, and sometimes insights or solutions pop out during that process that wouldn't just through, thinking alone.
Hmm.
And one source had this great phrase, writing helps you close mental tabs.
Huh. I like that. Close mental tabs.
Yeah, it frees up brain space, reduces that feeling of mental clutter, less stress.
We could all use some mental decluttering. Okay, so we've got self-discovery, emotional processing, creativity, accomplishment, problem solving.
Hmm.
But fulfillment often involves other people too, doesn't it? Connection.
Yeah, absolutely. And writing plays a role there as well. Sharing what you've written can build understanding with others, empathy, even create a sense of community.
I mean, people connect with your words.
Exactly. And sharing allows your ideas or stories to have an impact, maybe even reach a lot of people. And that positive feedback you might get, that can be really validating, boost your sense of worth.
So it helps you feel less alone in your thoughts or experiences, maybe? Building bridges,
That's a good way to put it. And thinking even longer term, there's this idea of legacy.
legacy. How does writing tie into that?
Through documenting your life, sharing wisdom you've gained, preserving memories, it offers a way to leave something behind, a sense of meaning that extends beyond just you.
That feels quite profound, actually. Leaving a mark.
It taps into a pretty deep human desire, I think.
Okay, this all sounds incredibly positive.
Hmm.
But we need some balance, right? It can't all be fulfilling, not every bit of writing.
No, definitely not. And the sources are clear on that. Things like, tedious work reports or writing that you just don't feel connected to, that's unlikely to feel fulfilling.
Right. The stuff you have to do versus the stuff you choose to do.
Exactly. And the writing process itself isn't always smooth sailing. Writer's block is real. Facing criticism can be tough.
Yeah, those are definite hurdles.
And it's also really important to remember that this whole writing fulfillment connection isn't universal. It's very individual. For some people, other activities might be a much better fit for finding fulfillment.
So it's not a magic bullet for everyone.
Not at all. And motivation matters too. If you're only writing for external validation, praise, likes, whatever, that might not lead to that deep, lasting fulfillment, it needs some genuine internal engagement.
Intrinsic motivation.
Right. And going back to the trauma point, while there might be some initial distress writing about difficult things, the sources generally suggest the long-term benefits often make it worthwhile. It's about the whole journey.
Okay, that's a really important set of caveats. So putting it all together, for someone listening now who maybe feels a pull towards exploring this, what's a practical way in?
Well, one suggestion is simply to reflect. Think about how writing currently fits or doesn't fit into your own path to fulfillment.
Just take stock.
Yeah, and then experiment. Try different things. Maybe some journaling, maybe responding to creative prompts, maybe just letting your thoughts flow, stream of consciousness style, see what resonates.
Who clicks for you?
Exactly. And maybe try setting aside some dedicated time for it, even just a little bit regularly, making it a deliberate practice.
Treat it as important.
Mm-hmm. And finally, remember that writing is likely most effective as one part of a fulfilling life, not the whole picture.
Right. It's a tool, a powerful one maybe, but not the only tool.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. The big takeaway seems to be that writing can be this incredibly potent tool for self-fulfillment. Through self-discovery, handling emotions, being creative, achieving things, connecting, even legacy.
Yeah, it touches on a lot of aspects of a fulfilling
It's
life.
very personal. It has challenges. It's not for everyone in the same way. And it works best when it's genuinely motivated from within and part of a bigger picture.
That sums it up nicely. It really depends on your individual relationship with writing, your intentions, how engaged you are, how it fits into your life overall.
So thinking about all that potential for, inner exploration, what kind of inner dialogue might you want to start exploring on the page now? Or maybe, considering the creative side, what's just one small writing experiment you might feel curious enough to try? Something to think about as we finish this deep dive.